Hey guys, Erica with a K here. Today's video is going to be on how long your hair grows in a month's time. I wanted to do a video on this for a number of reasons, but first I have to address my face. I'm completely red. I just waxed my face and that is why my face looks like this. I have incredibly sensitive skin and I wanted to film a video showing you guys what it's like to do that. Also, I'm wearing my 32 degrees heat shirt that I did a review on that I still get questions on. So it held up. This is the same shirt I used in that video and that was years ago. So yeah, it's a good one. So anyway, so I wanted to talk today about how long your hair grows in a month's time. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So there's so many things I want to talk about in this video. So number one is, for anybody who doesn't know, your hair grows from your roots, not from the ends of your hair. Your hair breaks from the ends of your hair. So if you're having a hard time growing your hair, it's because you need a haircut, more than likely, unless you have like a medical condition or anything like that. But if you're having a hard time growing your hair doesn't grow from the ends. It grows from up here. So it starts at your roots. So that's number one, because I think a lot of people don't know that. But your hair splits from the bottom up. That's why you have split ends. And that's why your hair doesn't grow, because you have to cut that hair off, cut off the breakage so that it no longer splits up the hair shaft. And then you won't have an issue of split ends or looking like it's see-through at the bottom of your hair, because that happens very often. Usually when you get your hair colored, a lot of women or men who color their hair every 4 to 6 weeks, they sometimes come in and they're like, the color faded. And it's like, no, the color didn't fade. If the color faded, it would be an off color. It wouldn't be your natural color coming through. If it faded, it would be like a little bit of like just say your color is brown, it would be like an orangey color. That's color fading. Your hair growing is what's going on. So your hair is growing and your natural color is coming through. So whether your natural color is very dark or whether it's gray or white or silver, it is the color that is coming through. It could also be light, or red. Sorry, wanted to be like including everybody. It could be literally any color that your natural hair is. That is the color you're seeing. It's not the color that I put on your head that fades. And you're supposed to come in every 4 to 6 weeks if you have gray coverage, if you have anything that has to do with coloring your roots, because then you'll have the line of demarcation. And what a line of demarcation is, the difference between the color I put on your head and your new growth. That is a line of demarcation. You see there's like a direct cut there. You don't really see the line of demarcation if you do something like a balayage or a foliage or some kind of hair highlighting technique. If you do traditional foils, which are like boom, 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 you will see the line of demarcation. If you do something like a balayage where we tease the hair, we don't go all the way up, we do a shadow root, we do a smudge root, we do the whole nine, you won't really see the line of demarcation. And that's why you can get away with getting your hair done every 6 to like 8 months, or sometimes even longer, depending on how rooty you like the look. What I mean by rooty is how much your roots have come in. So sometimes people are like, oh my God, my hair's so dark. What did you do? Like after I'll say to people, you know, you can get your highlights done at every appointment if you want to keep them up to the top of your head, if you want to maintain the exact color you have right now. If you're okay with not doing that and you just want to color your gray as it comes in and you don't mind a rooty look, that's what that means. It's the roots coming in. Again, not color fading, and it won't be highlights that I'm putting up here. It's a single process color. So that is just to cover your roots. Or if we break your base, there's a lot of different terminology that's kind of like unimportant if you're not in the industry, but we could break your base, which means we can make your base a little bit lighter. So just say I wanted to have full highlights, and then I didn't want to go all the way up. I didn't want it to be traditional. I wanted it to be more of a balayage look. I would probably want to, I might not, but I might want to lighten my base color. So therefore, when my roots come in, I'll have a line of demarcation and I'll see a direct line of roots. It's not your color fading. It's not anything like that. It is literally clockwork. So now if you have hair and you love your hairstyle and you want to maintain that look, you got to get that cut. Think about like short pixie cuts or traditional men's cuts, buzzer cuts. Every like 2 weeks, you have to get your hair cut to maintain that style. So it's no different if you have longer hair. Your hair is growing every like, you know, this is a month, which it may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. Like, I look like Curious George right now. Like, I literally look like Curious George. Like, I got to cut this. So it may not seem like a lot, but if you want to maintain a style, if you want to maintain a look, you got to get your hair cut as often as it grows. So obviously I'm not the end all be all of hair growth. Some people's hair might grow a little bit faster. Some people's hair might grow a little bit slower. It also depends on how your hair grows. It also depends on your health and your wellness, your stress levels. Your hair, like literally everything on you is a direct representation of your internal body, and your genetics and everything like that. So again, I'm not a doctor, I'm a hairdresser, but this is just not so common knowledge. So you're going to want to get your hair cut every like 4 to 6 weeks is pushing it. So what I generally do is have my clients on a schedule. So if they're single process clients, or if they're just, glosses, to get glosses in between highlights. So a gloss is something that would basically refreshen your blonde hair on the ends. We're not adding more in on top. We're just like refreshing whatever's on the end. You would want to get that done if you had a balayage, if you have brown hair or any other color hair that fades a little bit on the ends. Again, not up here, on the ends a little bit. Sometimes brown hair gets a little bit off. It gets a little bit like orangey on the ends. That's totally normal. Color oxidizes, external environmental like toxins in the air and your water and just life and heat tools. And this is totally normal. So what I like to do is get my clients on a schedule. So if you're a single process client, you generally have to get your roots done too. And what we would do with that appointment is also cut your hair. And that would be like a 4 to 6 week mark. Totally up to you when you want to do it. Some people push it out to 8. Some people do it exactly on 4 or 5. It's up to you. But you have to know that your hair is growing during that time. And that is why I'm doing this video today. Also, if you're a balayage client, you can definitely get away with a little bit longer, but you'll want to get on a schedule for your gloss and your haircut. Again, 4 to 6 weeks. Some people push it out about 8 weeks. That's totally up to you. If you're a traditional highlight client, which is the traditional highlights that are like this, and it looks like foils, it doesn't have to be a hard slice look. It doesn't have to look like Kelly Clarkson from like, the 2000s or 90s, whenever she came out. It could be a really pretty look, but if you want your highlights up here, you guys should be getting that done every like 6 to 8 weeks. That's kind of pushing it. It all depends on what you like, but your hair grows, and that's the whole point of this video. So I wanted to show you guys, since I'm cutting my hair anyway, that this may not seem like a lot because my hair is short to begin with. So it might be like, all right, relax. Like that's not a lot of hair. I wouldn't really need to get that done. But I'm going to show you guys in comparison, like to me being bald, how much hair this actually is. So let's plug in my broken clippers that I keep at home. And let's do this. So don't mind the noise. Want to make sure it's on the smallest one. We're going to do a quick little buzz to show you guys. So it doesn't seem like a lot, right? This has been a month. That's a lot. That is a lot of growth. Now imagine your hair is, I'm gonna rock it out like this. Imagine your hair is super long. You have really long, beautiful, flowy hair, or short or whatever, and your hair grows this much. You're gonna see that much growth. Can you handle that? Is that something you want to deal with? Hair growth is a healthy sign. It's a good sign, so we shouldn't be upset about it. But if you can last longer than this right here, then by all means, push out your appointment, 6, 8, whatever you guys want to do. But if something like this would drive you nuts and you're like, I need to get this fixed because it's just way too long for this, then you guys got to get on a schedule. So again, what I would recommend is a schedule of your gloss, your roots, and your cut all in one appointment. The cool thing is that I actually changed my pricing to an hourly rate. So now the gloss is free in theory because it goes on the same time that the rest of your roots go on, and it processes at the same time. So there's no additional charge for it, which I think is really cool. And it kind of entices people to get the full service every single time because there's no change in the money. It's the same exact money every time. So instead of being like, I'll skip the gloss and by the next time you come in, which is like, 8 weeks, or if you like to push out 12 weeks, just say, and your ends are like crying for help and they're like, please help us because we look nothing like the roots, then, where was I going with that? I got lost. Basically, I put it all together so that you guys don't have to worry about it being a price thing. I want you guys to leave my salon every time with your best hair. And whether that means shaving it off, or whether that means embracing your gray, or whether that means anything that it means to you. I want you guys to feel your best. I want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to feel confident, even if you have a shave mark down your head and you're on the internet and you don't care because you're happy. That's what I want for you guys. So that is that. I love you guys so, so, so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you guys. And also, please don't be afraid of hair loss in the sink unless you have patches where you guys can actually see that you're losing your hair. Hair loss is normal. We lose like 300 strands a day or something like that. I have an entire video talking about this, but we lose a ton of hair strands a day. It's normal, and it makes room for new hair strands to come in. So if you don't wash your hair every day, if you don't brush your hair every day, you will notice when you do wash and when you do brush your hair that you have a ton of hair loss. That is why, because it's coming out anyway and it's getting stuck in the rest of your hair. So until you brush it out or until you wash it out, it's stuck in your actual hair. So please don't be nervous about that either. Okay guys, I love you guys, and I will stop talking your ear off so I can buzz the rest of my head. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, everybody. I love you guys. Until next time, work hard, dream big, eat cake. Bye, guys.